What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wright and Wade. Basketball analysis coming to y'all with that classic analysis that I continue to deliver on this channel each and every day throughout the years, throughout the weeks, throughout the days, or throughout the minutes that you guys continue to watch. And I have y'all back with the analysis video for today. We're going to talk about James Harden aiming at that basket, scoring 30 plus points a game in 3 straight seasons, going up with one of the most unstoppable scorers in the history of the NBA, Kevin Durant, a Finals MVP, a MVP, and a champion. And then you got Kyrie Irving, Dr. Drew himself, slicing and dicing, penetrating the defenses, and scoring at will all on one team. And you will have to give up your future, your young prospects. Houston wouldn't mind because they're going to be in a rebuilding mode anyway. Plus, they get some players for Russell Westbrook too, so they can rebuild and think about the future if he does decide to get traded to Brooklyn, because he is James Harden, so he can request where he wants to play at. And the Rock as well, he's been doing some dominant and some damage down there in Houston. They should allow him to go where he wants to go, and I think that'd be fair. But at the same time, when you think about a team like this, it is domination. You get all three of those guys on the court. I know people are gonna say they need the ball. How are they gonna play defense? Those guys are not the best defenders. Those guys are still trying to find an identity when it comes to teams, because Kyrie and Kevin Durant hasn't played a whole season together. Adding James Harden, another ball dominant player, is gonna be the most common criticism of this team. But just like a lot of other great players, you figure it out. You get James Harden and you become the best team in the league, just because there's no way in the world you can stop those guys from scoring the basketball at will. Even when people thought him and Russell wouldn't work, they got out of the first round. They still put up astronomical numbers. And even though they didn't have the season that people thought that they would, and they wasn't as dominant as we thought, Kyrie can shoot and Kevin Durant can shoot. And they can shoot threes. They can space out the floor. They can break down defenses. They can get out in transition. They obviously are guys that can get to the free throw line and make jumpers. They also can, take over games in long stretches and carry the load. If one of them get injured, you still have the other two, because Kyrie has had injury problems. Bangs and nagging injuries always do occur at the end of the day. And in my personal opinion, they will be able to figure that out. Now, the only question for them is the playoffs. Can they stay healthy? And if they stay healthy, who's going to be able to stop them? Who's going to be able to slow them down? That's going to be the question for every team in the league, because there's no way you can stop Kevin Durant. And he has shown that throughout his entire career, even in practice, even in, you know, the pickup games that he's been playing. Kyrie has been unguardable for his whole entire career. James Harden can basically do whatever he wants. But the problem is, what are they going to do off the ball? Will they be cutting? Will they be moving? Or will they just stand around and let each player do your turn, my turn? Which, when you have guys of this caliber, still will work. Just because if you kick it out, or you draw the defenders in, they can kill you from spot up threes. Even though that's not the way you should want to play. You want everybody touching the ball, everybody moving, everybody setting screens, everybody, being active, and that's how it should be. Um, they still going to be hard to beat just because you have these guys that at the level that they are at. These guys are all top 15 players in the world, top 10, which is two of them. And Harden and Durant already went to the finals, and Harden was nowhere near the Harden that he is today, whether that's good or bad, but you got to take it. If you're a team, you're trying to build the best talent that you can together, and hopefully they can stay healthy and a little bit of luck, and you can win titles. That's what it's all about in Brooklyn. That's what they're here for. They came to Brooklyn to win titles. And getting James Harden only helps that cause, in my personal opinion. You get this team together. You find out a way throughout the season what works, what don't work, what team work, what lineup work, what chemistry problems you have. You try to iron that out, and if you can't, you make the additions and subtractions by waiving and also trading in the before the trade deadline. and you put this team together and you live with the results. Kyrie and Kevin Durant is only here for a certain amount of time, and James Harden will be in 3 years on his contract left, will be here for the same amount. And that's a long time to figure it out. You don't have to win it first year. If you do make this trade, people are going to expect that you do win the title this year, but you still will have chances to figure out what works and don't work and work out the kinks and iron that out within the next 3 seasons. Because if you get James Harden, I don't believe any of those guys are going to want to leave because they know what's at stake. They know what can be done if things are done the right way and you handled it the right way. And if you're a GM, this is a no-brainer. You get a top 5 player on this roster, you do that any time of the night, any time of the day, any time of the year. That's a no-brainer. But I don't really think James Harden is uncoachable. I don't think that Kyrie is uncoachable. I think that these are guys that want to win. These are guys that can get their number whenever they want. They can do whatever they want on the court, and they have done that throughout their careers. I don't think that that's going to be the problem. The problem is just going to be how do you build a complete team when it comes to role players and bench. Are you going to go for the athleticism? You're going to go for the shooting? You're going to go for what? That's going to be the thing that the Nets will have to figure out. How are they going to put this team together and figure everything else out? That's not Kevin Durant's job. That's not Kyrie or James Harden's job. That's the general manager. And they have made mistakes in the past. They have got a lot of costs for the mistakes that they have made. But you just live with the results after that. You get these 3 guys on your team and you figure everything else out later. And I feel like that's the way you go when you do this. So if the Nets are thinking about this, you do it. That's something that shouldn't even be questioned. That's something that you shouldn't even have to think about. You get James Harden with these two, you do that in a heartbeat. And my personal opinion, they will be the favorites. I don't like James Harden going with Joel Embiid. He's always injured. He's never healthy. He doesn't play well in the playoffs, and that just won't be enough because Tobias Harris disappears in the playoffs too. But that's one thing we don't have to worry about. Kyrie and Kevin Durant, they elevate their game and they play. These are champions. They already won the title. James Harden is trying to get a title. And they already played on super teams. They already played with other stars and was successful in the regular season and in the playoffs. So my personal opinion is you get this done. And if you're a Nets fan, just hearing this rumor should get you excited just because the thought of having those 3 guys together that's a dream. That ain't reality. That you can get those 3 guys in the prime of their careers together. That's not going to happen every day. That's not going to happen for every team. And you are one of the teams that actually have the ability to do that. You get that done. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully you guys are thinking about that. I'm a Celtics fan. I feel like this is our year coming up. And if not the next year, but if they make this trade, the NBA in the palm of their hands. The NBA is in the palm of the hands of the Nets, and they have waited so many decades to win the title. They have been waiting for a superstar. They have been waiting to go back to the finals. They have been waiting to hoist a championship up with this franchise, and they haven't done it. But this move will get them as close as they ever can be. And if they do win it, I wouldn't be surprised. But they do have to go through the season. They do have to stay healthy. And they do have to eventually figure out their kinks. They got 72 games to do that. And even if they do, make it to the playoffs, the first round shouldn't be a problem. They're just going against the elite teams and being realistic. It's going to be other players and other teams recruiting other stars so they can increase their chances of winning an NBA championship too. So they're going to get this. If they get this done, it's going to be another team that's going to try to one up them. There's always going to be competition. There's always going to be a team that's going to be trying to be your competitor. There's always going to be another team that's trying to make that move to be as good or if not better than you. And this move will be the move for the Nets. But don't be surprised if another team does it, because a lot of people are saying Kawhi Leonard going after Chris Paul. You get Chris Paul and Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, and they're in a different conference. That's your competition. That's going to be the rival. So, it's exciting. It's good to hear. It's funny that Harden and Durant could play with each other again at the peak of their powers, even though Kevin Durant, we don't know how he's going to be, but we know how good he is anyway, and his height and his length is going to make it easy for him regardless. And Kyrie is a killer. So, This is crazy if it happens. It's crazy. But check out my website, analysisplayground.com. Link will be in the description, comment section below. Check out my Facebook page, analysisplayground.com. Link will be in the description, comment section below. Like on Facebook to show support. Thanks for everybody that likes on Facebook. Thanks for everybody that continues to check it out. Not only that, check out my older videos. I have over 1,000, almost 2,000 videos on my channel. If you like this video, check those out. They come from breakdowns of players, legends, and rookies, and even summer league coverage, draft coverage, free agency, trade deadline, top 10 listed season previews, and even discussions just like this. And if you don't believe me, you can check them out for yourself. You can also buy merchandise to help support the channel even more. That be in the description in the comment section below on my spread shirt. You can also buy merchandise on my Facebook page. I have hats and I have shirts there. You can change the color of the hat. You can change the color of the logo to whatever you want it to be. And if you want to support the channel, you can also like this video, share it. That's another way to help me reach more people and more people to check out the channel. That's a small thing you guys can continue to do to continue to help the channel grow. Talking about it, sharing it, and letting people know that this is your guy, this is who y'all love, and this is what I'm about will also help the channel continue to grow. I love the channel. I love the people that watch. I love the people that continue to subscribe and support the movement. I've been doing this for so many years. And I appreciate the people that have been sticking with me and the people that want to come along the journey with me. Other than that, Quinn Wade, basketball analysis, I'm gone. And if you Brooklyn, get this done. If you the fans, be happy.